Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Onward VR Master League. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. I will be your host this afternoon for a historic matchup. Beginners versus Globochem. A super hyped match in the community. A matchup that, although, you know, we say is historic and that they have played each other so many times, doesn't happen often in the regular season. The only time they've faced off was in a challenge in Season 3. And then the Button Cup in Season 6. Since then, they only face each other in tournament matches or showcase matches, as they did recently with ESL. And now here they are, facing off against each other in the Button Cup in Season 7. Both teams at the top of the standings in their division. Both teams master tier teams. You go look at the worldwide rankings. It's Globochem #1, Beginners #2. 10 MMR separating the two teams. So this is kind of a chance for them to... I mean, it's an opportunity for beginners to possibly get the #1 ranking worldwide. But it's also a chance for Globochem to really solidify themselves at that #1 spot. If they can beat beginners, they're going to actually gain some nice MMR, which they don't normally get an opportunity to do because the teams that they play are usually 20 or 30, 40 MMR beneath them. So we're going to have ourselves a bit of a tight matchup. I mean, if you look at it, the last time they did face off in the Button Cup, it was actually not that close. Globochem going up 12-3 against beginners. And I don't know the scoreline at ESL, but I want to say that Globochem may have won there as well. I could be wrong. Either way, we're going to be hopping into this matchup pretty soon, so we might as well go over the pick bans. Coming out of beginners, we have a cargo ban. And coming out of Globochem, we have a Snow Peak ban. Not yet up here on our list, but we will have it featured shortly, or soon enough. I mean, this is your typical bans. Cargo actually sort of surprises me to see beginners banning Cargo against Globochem. I don't think Globochem really are a dominating force on a map like that. I feel like something like Quarantine or Bazaar is a larger threat, and we are going to be going into Quarantine for map #1. So we're going to kick things off with what I anticipate to be quite an interesting competitive round. Whenever we come onto Quarantine, we always talk about how diverse the map is, and how many options, how many opportunities there are for team play and team coordination around the walls and the different pushes that are available. And we're going to see it here today. Both these squads are going to be putting in their all. Oh, man. I think we're having... I'm trying to sort out the tech side of things for 1 second, so give me 1 quick second here. Should be... Yeah, I'm not seeing our transition, so we might be having some jarring swaps here, which I do apologize for. I guess we'll try this. I don't know how this will go. Both teams in the lobby, so we will briefly go over the active rosters that we have today. Over on beginners, we have Dr. Killinger, Kev, Icy Woods, Woods 43, and Smoils. So your standard roster for beginners. Nothing out of the ordinary there. The Woods brothers gonna be battling it out side by side. It's the common thread you'll see here in the active rosters. Both squads holstering brother duos. Yep, our transitions are not working, which I do apologize for. Over on Globochem, we have Thunder Pilot, Otto, Pants, Raphael, Toast, Arsenic, Mixologist, and Norseman lining out at the bottom of that roster. But the active is Toast, Arsenic, Pants, Otto, and Thunder Pilot. I think we have all squads readied up and ready to go. And we are going to hop into round number 1 of map 1. And look at that, guys. I got the magic. I worked the magic. Everything's in tip-top shape. We're ready to fire on all cylinders as Globochem go on the defensive.
Just do your thing, man. I'm doing my thing. I'm behind the barricade.
It looks like we're actually going to kick it off with a round reset. Let's test our luck with the score with the transition fixes. Yes, indeed, everything is in order. No more worries on the tech side. We can lock ourselves in at what's to come. I think we're going to see some slow play. I mean, obviously here, we've seen that sort of slower mentality sort of trickle throughout a bunch of teams in the EU. Beginners are the origin of the EU slow play style. In my mind, at least, they're the ones that have sort of forced the adoption of that slow play style amongst a lot of EU teams. And I don't know if they're going to have an opportunity really to slow play this one, because they are going to be kicking off round number 1, map number 1, with a quick spawn in the north.
They can shoot me from the clock towers.
See if Smoils the cat can use all 9 of his lives here to gain himself a little extra advantage as he peeks up early over this dune, looking for some rotations and not seeing anything. Kevin Woods also checking for an ambulance rotation at the start, and they're not seeing that. Nothing along this far south side either. The Globochem have really just sort of tucked into Burning Building and around the west side of the objective. And I mean, honestly, this is the smartest defense. I think you could probably, one of these better choices at the very least. I've seen teams opt to send one far south over to try and get to ambulance, or push a couple up north to run into enemies early and take command of rooftop. This is a much more passive defense here, but they're all near objective. Utilizing that burning building and the rubble, they're gonna sort of force close encounters out of beginners, I think. Pants does have an angle through the rubble here at rooftop and into that rooftop courtyard. And I mean, they're gonna really let these, I don't know, Thunder. Yeah, I guess he'll be picking them off pretty early. As soon as they start their approach west down this lane, he has an angle that he can peek. He does seem to be checking from time to time. Patiently waiting. Beginners, 4 minutes left on the clock, have all the time in the world. Smoil's really the most forward positioned beginners. He's got a bit of an angle onto Pants, but Pants is still pretty well covered. I don't think Smoils can see the back of Pants there. Pants does move or shift his body, though. It could very well sort of peek up over that ledge. Toast does catch Woods trying to cross with no smokes across North Street. I think they're going to try and do that again, but a bit farther to the east. Maybe Kev now second guessing that. This far, far east approach has a chance. A nade comes out right nearly on top of Smoils, just a bit to the right of him. Shots now from Kev to sort of draw the attention to the east. And now beginners are going to have to start to move in from this west side. They have the overwatch from Smoils. They have 2:40 left on the clock, and they have no picks.
I'm on the roof.
Out comes the utility. A smoke from Smoils as well as a smoke from Kev. Ideally, we'll let them cross. Try and draw the eye over here to the north as well while Kev crosses that north street. They want him maybe to rotate around south and approach from ambulance. At the very least, come up from that middle courtyard, tank courtyard area. A lot of shots coming out here on the east side. Killinger checking his clock. He knows they only have 2:12 left. The utility's out. So those smokes are going to only have about another 20-second lifetime at the max left. And there's very little movement. They did manage to get across the north. Across that north street. You can see Kev's there is in the middle now of the map on the east side. Woods now proning. Minute 20 on the clock. 5 alive for Globochem, 1 down for beginners. Picked off as he tried to cross the street north by Arsenic in the 2-story. You can see the sporadic movement from Arsenic. He's really just sort of trying to cover multiple angles, peeking corners, putting out some suppressive shots right over the roof, the head rather, of a beginner's enemy, but I don't think he knows they're there. Just sort of a pre-fire almost. Does see the smoke out, so they are aware of tank courtyard, and the call-outs are coming in.
Behind the tank.
A nade.
Smoke from roof.
Just the smoke rolling in, and Kev has made his way up to red car. Does have some sort of vision here into the 2-story, into burning building. Killinger coming in, but Auto manages to catch him on the backside. Killinger is inside. Middle rubble. Has a shot on to 1, 2. Doesn't find the triple toast, able to catch him out, and now we're into a 1v3 with Icy Woods and 15 seconds on the clock. He peeks up and over the ledge. LMG fire raining down, but he doesn't have time left. 10 seconds now with 3 left alive. All Globochem have to do is tuck themselves in, and they have round number 1 of this Button Cup matchup. Look at that score line here. Killinger finding 2, Toast as well, and even spread across the line of Globochem. Now, just in preparation, for those who may not be familiar with play styles of both squads, Globochem, I anticipate to play that map, this objective entirely differently. Unless they get a slow spawn, there will be very little wasting of time. Not necessarily wasting of time. They like to have time left over. Just in case their push completely fails, they leave about 2 or 3 minutes left, really, to sort of regroup, to be able to regroup if they need to. It doesn't happen very often, but I anticipate this round to be much faster paced in terms of the offensive pushing than beginners. It'll be really interesting to see how those contrasting play styles shake out today, because I think Globochem have really been sort of refining their fast play style, while beginners have been, in essence, refining the slow play. Really, I think they've been getting a lot better at the timing. They usually approach things around 2:30 or 3 minutes. Sorry to spoilers, you know, out onto the beginner's play style. But and that's been a bit of an adjustment from their, you know, much later timing around like a minute, where they'd leave themselves with very little room to maneuver. And we will see how Globochem does slow play, because they do get crater spawn for round number 2. Crater spawn, of course, up in that far northeast corner in the crater. They're going to go with a 3-2 split. Pretty meta. You send 2 going to that hotel and to try and cross north. Send some suppressive fire out. Very similar to the beginner's push, but they sent 2 along to try and cross that north street instead of just 1. The spawn here also a determining factor in how they push, so not opting to just put 4 up here on the north. take a look at the beginner's defense, and you can see the differences in defensive strategy here. They do send Kev along the south side. That is why when they pushed at that north spawn, they were looking here, because this is something they do on the defense. And that's something you often actually see teams not do. They sometimes will... They don't check spots that they themselves usually take. It's a very odd thing that happens, but it does. And maybe they just don't think other players know about it, but either way, beginners positioned up, and Smoil is just pumping out some suppressive rounds. Very early on those pre-fire. I think he maybe wanted to have timed that a minute later, or 30 seconds later, when Globochem had pushed their way up to that corner, just to sort of fend them off from pushing there. It has slowed them up, though. Otto and Toast are now checking this corner. And Icy Woods finds Arsenic trying to cross North Street in the smoke. Smokes weren't good enough. Icy Woods doing exactly what Globochem was able to. Going back for the res, though, does get him up, and Woods calls it out and identifies. And they will have two in the middle now to approach. Maybe send one south and one up the center here. Or keep their 3-2 split going. Arsenic crossing in that open gap that Woods could see down, but now utilizing this wall for cover. Globochem actually playing this one a bit slower than I would have anticipated. Nade comes out. Icy Woods sees it come over the ledge and picks off Arsenic as he tries to continue to push up behind that nade. Very tight angle in that gap in the wall there, but he does catch him out. Super tight angle. Thought he was going to confirm that with a shot, but he's actually going to prep a nade. A great toss. You can see him sort of line it up just to confirm that kill. No need, but does confirm it. And now Globochem in a 3v5. Toast over here on the west with one of his teammates. Who it is over there. Like Otto. Trying to take control of the roof. Maybe approach from the rooftop courtyard. And this is sort of the timing I was talking about. Although it is slower than I would expect. They did try to sort of Arsenic to they did try to send Arsenic up a little bit earlier at 3 minutes. That push didn't work, and now they have slowed up and are rotating around, auto shifting to try and cover that same sort of position that Arsenic would have taken up the middle. I think they're going to try to go for a three-pronged attack here. Send Thunder along the south lane. And Toast over on the west. Toast able to catch one out. Now he's super exposed. Has to drop back and does tuck himself into safety. And a great pick onto the backside there. Just caught Woods getting a little lazy on the defense. If he was tucked in just a bit tighter here onto this wall, he would have been able to avoid that shot. Use the plane as his cover, but does have his back exposed. Thunder inching his way forward into tank courtyard.
Heavy fence, roof fence, roof fence. Inside it. Roof fence inside the fence.
Dillinger catches out Toast. Nades coming in to objective. A great toss does down Woods. Thunder Pilot's here. If he's checking, he may be able to catch out the revive. The nade actually also coming out of follow-up. Does not confirm Woods. Kev does find Thunder Pilot on the side from ambulance, and now it's all up to Otto and rooftop courtyard pushing in now with the smoke for cover. A great smoke, by the way. That will allow him to cross the street, although not necessary by any means. Now he's into a 1v4. 30 seconds left. Globochem, the ones actually slow playing the round here as well. Not my initial prediction, but Also, it's not working out for them. Beginners here with 4 alive. Auto-checked ambulance. Thought it was clear. Tries to come up and over. Takes some shots. 15 seconds now. All beginners have to do is hunker down. Auto does not have a chance. Woods, though, thirsty for the kill, does find it. And beginners, with an answer back of their own and a strong one at that, take round number 2, tied up 1-1. We're off to a good start here. This is exactly what I was hoping for, a bit of a back and forth. We have a brief tech pause here as Globochem have one dropping out. Hopefully that won't be too long. But interesting to see Globo slow playing that one as well. I think they're also sort of just feeling out beginners here in these early rounds. They do have the Volk advantage, so they don't need to be overly aggressive on their Marsoc rounds necessarily. As long as they're winning their Volk rounds. See if beginners can change that up, spice up that pattern. They'll be on Marsoc next. We are going to a tough to cap objective, although I have seen it capped nearly as many times as I've seen it defended, honestly, so. With the proper attack, I think it is very susceptible to a cap, depending on the defensive strategy, and is going to be that far east objective. Teasing it, show. And the reason this one's so tough is just because of the different defensive positions that people normally take. Typically, you have one here in hotel, motel, I suppose. Defending the objective. They have a nice line of sight in the dark room. Good cover. But it has its trade-offs. If you lose control of this side of the map, there's also plenty of lines of sight to deny vision from motel, push up to objective, and punch in the code. So we'll see how beginners approach, how Globochem opts to defend it.
I'm not feeling so hot. My stomach. Yeah. Yeah, let's make this good.
Arsenic maybe letting the nerves get to his tum-tum. Precise smokes coming out here. I don't know if this is intentional, but utilizing the curves to deny these smokes from rolling. There are great smokes covering the lines of sight here. They have one easily across. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to the color of the smokes either, but I could be wrong on that. Underpilot not opting to take that far south approach, and beginners with a 5-man spread here, taking an approach from all sides. Very likely to see, I would think, a far north flank attempt at the very least from that.
Smoke and go. Go where?
One over there under the north rooftop.
Let's go building. We don't have time to fuck. What?
We've got 4 minutes 40, mate.
We're not doing anything here.
What are we going to do?
We need to
We're just going to cross and then what?
South. Let's go.
Alright, but they're up there though.
Yeah, you didn't go.
Because I couldn't, they fucking smoked it. I can't just run out suicidally.
The debate here in play styles. Smoke goes out. Woods nearly getting killed in the cross. His suicidal run does get him over there. The comms should come in, though, identifying Woods crossing. And now he has to worry about Thunderpilot, who's rotating far across the south here. He'll be coming up over that Doom with an angle on him soon. Actually, Thunderpilot playing this pretty passively. A little bit nervous maybe to peek up over that hill. And Killinger with just that game knowledge to be checking here and putting out some rounds. It is throwing Thunder off, but I wonder how long he'll be checking this far south.
Go where? You can't just run to the dune. What the fuck are we doing? They're probably in the southwest tower. You need to run through the dune all the way from the south wing then.
Killinger peeking up and over. Thunder takes some shots. Does find Woods on the backside, but Killinger with the refrag, a 1-for-1 trade.
I killed the southwest dunes guy.
But opens up south, which is, in my opinion, the more important side to enter from. Otto has an angle, Arsenic has an angle, but the north approach can deny Arsenic the ability to really be peeking that south side. It is exposed there. Otto, though, has also coverage, and Toast is, I mean, they really have 3 lines of sight here on the south, waiting for them to try and make an approach there. Not investing too heavily in the north, although they have sent Pants up into the crater to prevent any far north flanks, which we won't be seeing. Minute 50 on the clock. Woods has approached one of a forward position. He's ready and prepared to put out some LMG fire while Killinger and Kev try and make their moves in the south. Smoke Neg comes out, and it is just nearly placed right on top of Otto. A frag also coming here on the corner. Not sure what Killinger was trying to do there. Maybe he wanted to throw a smoke instead. With defensive nades from Globo, and it's actually a really well-placed smoke. Completely denying vision there. He does get across. Now Otto still has this line of sight. Killinger does make it behind the shots, and he goes for a re-peek onto Otto. He knows he's there exposed in the corner. Finds him out. Arsenic coming up and looking for it. Can't get him, and we're into a 3v4 now. Beginner starting to pinch in. Pants rotating along that far north side. Should have the back of Smoils, and he does pick him up and continues his rotation along the north. Gets team killed by Toast. A terrible, detrimental team kill. He could have been rotating up to that rooftop and had a great line of sight. Arsenic finding out Kev. Toast picks off Smoils. Killinger here trapped with the suppressive fire by Arsenic, but the trade goes out, and now everyone dead. Beginners take the round. I thought they had one left over at Hotel, but he was picked off by Woods, and Beginners take a Marsoc round. I couldn't even. Wow. $30 seconds left. Trying to think. Trying to recap what exactly we need to. I'm gonna get the replay functions in order here today. Go back and take a look at this footage. Reminder as well to clip all the good clips. There's a redundancy there, but clip your favorite bits of action. Post it in the chat. Try and pick and choose from my favorite clips that I like. Feature them right here on the stream. Well, I actually do have the technology. We'll go back and look at that end of round. think I can do it. Maybe able to do it. No more waiting, though, as we dive into round number 3. Can't do math. Of map number 1. See those early smokes coming in from beginners to cross the street. Well placed and does allow woods and smoils, so they're going to send 2 there to cross.
Round gas station going south now.
Woods here with a real long angle from Motel. Does see a rotation along the south side. Does call that out. Should identify that move coming out here for Woods, who now does have an angle and is waiting. Doesn't have that corner. He's really just waiting for them to push up to plane wing. And give Otto a little bit of room, and Smoils.
Nice.
Not sure where he was trying to go. Oh, I think he got picked off by... Did Otto pick him off? I'm not sure how he died. Woods here does peek up and over the dunes finally and picks off Otto. Trying to get my bearings down the action. I see Woods, the Woods brother, also finding some rotations out in tank courtyard. And a UAV coming out from Globochem in the 4v4 and try and identify where the rest of beginners are located. Harassing Woods there in the window. Dillinger and Kev here do have vision onto the south. And, I mean, that's almost nearly a full clip invested in taking down that drone, which was right on top of Kev.
One confirmed nurse.
I think we may have had a drop. No, we were having a map bug. That's what's going on. Arsenic here. Pants actually the one that's invisible onto the map. I do apologize for that. 4 are indeed alive for Globochem, and they are converging onto objective. Arsenic with his breathing and comms queuing very well could give away his position here to Woods.
Nothing.
Great nade from Woods lands right on to Arsenic. Bounces perfectly off the hill, and amazingly, Arsenic is just down to not insta-killed. I don't know how that nade did not kill him instantly, and he even saw the nade coming, calling it out to his team that he was going to go down. See if Woods is trained there on that potential res. I don't think he is. He's given up on that north side, and Pants is here. Should be able to turn this back into a 4v4. Fantastic nade, though. Temporarily slowing up the Globochem push, but now Pants here. That cement truck, 2 minutes left. Globochem actually utilizing all of the time as well. Slow playing things here as Arsenic
Killed one on Marsoc.
Picks off by Kev here. Arsenic picks off Kev, sorry. Dillinger with the revive and attempted smoke onto objective from Pants. Gets denied by the full Woods. Finds shots onto Arsenic, and now Pants is concerned about Hotel. Minute 40 left, a 3v4. Toast and Thunderpilot also approaching, one from the middle, one from the south. A nade comes out, and Woods catches Thunderpilot. Pants pushes up as well and gets out Kev. Killinger looking for Pants here up into the 2-story. Toast pushing in from center objective right on top of Killinger. The callouts have to be here. Woods does have it, but Toast finds him out. Killinger picks him off. Pants can't find the frag on the backside, and we're into a minute 17 left. And Pants is all alone with 1 res available. Whew. A moment to breathe. A little off on the timing for Christmas jingles, but maybe trying to calm the nerves. He has 35 seconds left.
30 seconds, okay? So I need you to rush with me, and we need to kill the motel guy. Or kill the Marshall guy. Ready? Can I revive you? Is it safe? Okay, I'm going. Screw it, I can't. I don't want to see him. Oh, I see him. Fuck. Ready? Ready to aim and shoot him?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Let's go.
17 seconds on the clock. The push here coming in from Globochem. They're going to need to pick off Motel and find Dr. Killinger. All Pants needs to do, Woods needs to do is just stay hidden. 4, 3, 2, Globochem going to run out of time, investing too much on the res. And Beginners taking a 3-1 lead. Reversing the scoreline that has been historically Globochem favored. At least last Button Cup in Season 3 it was. They are now really taking it to Beginners on map number 1. We're going to go back and take a quick look. We'll see if we can first. See if we have the technology. I think we do. We're going to take a quick look at the end of that 3rd round, the push from Globochem, getting them their Marsoc win. With a minute 30 left on the clock. Let's key it up. Killinger was trying to do there. Maybe he wanted to throw a smoke instead. That's what kicks it off right there in my eyes. That fantastic smoke allows Killinger to cross here onto Otto. You see Otto's defending. He has this line of sight covered, and Killinger's going to cross it. Otto misses the shots, and Killinger then re-peeks. Instead of continuing his push here, he re-peeks. That catches Otto off guard. Killinger finds that very key pick there. We have plenty of we know how long these rounds go. We have plenty of time left. 50 seconds here. Fast forward, Pants finds the backside of Smoils, and I thought was going to be flanking effectively, but these 3 here, Arsenic finding Kev, Toast finding Smoils, and then Killinger and Woods go on a tear. Woods finds Toast, Killinger finds Arsenic. I don't know when Pants went down in this series here. Either way, Beginners took that round. We'll hop into round number 5 here. In time for some pre-fire onto the rooftop, and it is going to be a north objective. A fast spawn as well from Beginners, and they're going to push it up pretty quick. 5:30, and they've already moved themselves up onto the west. Killinger pushing quickly here with Kev. Flashbangs and nades coming in here. Pants pushing up. A great toss around the corner. Tries to get a double, but Killinger and Kev pushing in too quick. He can't have time. Doesn't have time to prime the nade. Killinger peeks out looking for Pants, and Pants picks himself up a double on the corner. Arsenic here going to be running into some action soon. He sees the push, tosses a nade a bit too far. Going to go up and over the head of Icy Woods, who's now pushing up into the ravine. Don't know if he knows that Arsenic is right there up at the white car. Now he does. Here's a shot, an easy pick as he's down in the ravine. Comes up and over. Pants catches him out, and Beginners down to 1. Otto pumping in some suppressive fire, but it is a 1v3. Smoils the last one alive on the backside. 4:40 left. Beginners here maybe mounting the comeback. It's a 2v1. Otto and Pants, the only 2 alive, with now only 1 res available from Arsenic onto that white car.
I killed 2, stay alive, 1 on the roof. I mean...
He thinks there's 1 for 1 resable.
Fuck. I'm trying to revive the fuckers.
I think there might...
I need to revive my fuckers.
I'm curious. I don't know who Smoils thinks he can pick up here.
Where are you? Where are you exactly?
Maybe we're having a spectator bug. Smoils is pushing. He's going for the res. 350. He had all the time in the world. He could have slow peeked the corner, but Otto goes up for the trade, and Globochem find themselves a their Volk round, and a bit of an answer back, putting it to 3-2. We got kind of interrupted on that replay, on that recap of that round. The Marsoc win from beginners. But I don't think I saw Pants go. I think Pants may have DC'd, and that could have been just the worst way to win a round, because I think he may have had an opportunity to flank in from the south. Actually, is probably very fortunate that he DC'd. He was very far south. I thought that they're actually... Yeah, that's why I was confused. I didn't think the round was over. I thought Pants was still alive on the south. Either way, beginners do take that round, and... I guess a fortunate disconnect if there can ever be one for Globochem. We hop into round number 6. Sorry, gents. We're going to have mirrored spawns. Globochem getting that fast spawn as well. See if Thunder Pilot gives it away with some early shots on the roof. Actually going to be Pants who looks for the rotation.
He's down.
I think he just ducked.
No, he's 100% down. I think he's down, not dead.
And there's some misinformation from Pants. A quick duck can... I mean, Pants should know. A very fast duck can trick
White car.
anybody. You can assume that you have somebody down. And a bit of a different approach here from Globochem with this fast spawn, not crashing up that street and utilizing the spawn, but instead rotating around, coming up through the center, and they're going to try and utilize that rooftop to deny vision from the majority of the defense. Really, the only one is that Smoils up there.
Yeah, he's at the air conditioner left side.
Woods catches Pants trying to rotate around Ambulance. The rest of the team had pushed up the center, but may not work out for them. The flashbang, fortunately not a nade, comes out, and Arsenic and Thunder still able to push up here. Globochem, however, are into a 3v5. They have one along the west. Toast there still. And Thunder and Arsenic. Arsenic inching his way up the plane wing. He's going to be looking for an angle onto Smoils. Smoils has really tucked himself in, though. I don't know if Arsenic will ever be able to find it. Kev catches out Toast, trying to come up the west ravine. Now Globo in a 2v5 with a lot on their plate. They know they have a rooftop defender. They know Woods here has an angle onto that lane Thunder wants to approach from. Arsenic, very fortunate his back isn't exposed yet, but once he gets high up enough to try and find Smoils, going to be a vulnerable target. He knows that. He peeks up and over just briefly and then drops back. 3 minutes left for Globochem to work with. Arsenic goes for the trade against Woods. It doesn't win it, and now Thunder Pilot will be able to get that res. Arsenic is using that impenetrable. I don't know what that is. Radar tower there. Thunder Pilot trading over on the left side with Smoils, and Arsenic will be able to res him. So they're sort of just exchanging their 9 lives, so to speak, as interestingly catch out the Cat and Arsenic and Thunder now trying to rotate around. See Killinger pretty exposed. A long range nade, not quite where it needs to be, but the shots start to ring out. Thunder Pilot goes down, Arsenic with the refrag. Now Arsenic into a 1v3. He's going to be pushing up, not expecting Kev on this corner. Kev with an easy shot onto the side. Grabs Beginners, map number 1 on Quarantine. It was their map choice, something to note. As we now shift over into Globo's map pick. A reminder, the bans coming out of Beginners were Cargo, and from Globochem was Snow Peak, so plenty of maps on the table here. I anticipate Bazaar or a Downfall pick coming out of Globo. More likely Downfall, though I'll be hopeful and say Bazaar. And my dreams and wishes are heard. It's almost like they're listening to me. Map number 2 coming out of Globochem is going to be Bazaar. If you are just tuning in, much appreciated. Thanks for stopping by. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. You are watching the VR Master League. It is a community-run Onward league. If you want to get more information or get involved, head on over to vrmasterleague.com/onward. At the bottom of the page here, you can see the link. Also follow the Twitter, and make sure to follow and use your Twitch Prime on the Twitch channel. You get all sorts of cool emotes, and the bits and subs go to supporting the mods and myself and other casters for the VR Master League, so it's much appreciated. Oh yeah, also, some other information here. Don't forget that a few of our teams are also competing in the VR League, which is brought to you by Oculus and ESL. Those guys, gals have a potential to win some very cool cash prizes, money on the line over there. And they also get the chance to go and experience a pro-level LAN event over in UK. You can always watch those matchups over on the VR League site. And also, obviously, we're hoping we can get approved to start casting some of those ESL matches here on the VRML channel or on our personal channels. And, you know, we're continuing to work with ESL. You know, something to just also remember that the #1 team from the VR Master League is going to that LAN event. So it's very much a synergetic relationship, and I'm looking forward to that LAN tournament. It's going to be very, very exciting. I anticipate we'll see the usual suspects there when it comes down to it. And if we didn't, I'd be pretty surprised. But there's a lot of opportunity to play at that LAN event, and the VR Master League is absolutely one of those means of becoming a pro athlete in the VR esport realm. Although I consider pretty much anybody competing in the VR Master League to be a pro esports athlete, because these teams have been ramping up the competition across the board. And now there's no more waiting for map number 2, excuse me, as we dive into round 1. Global Globochem versus beginners. Early pre-fire from Killinger to ensure that there's no fast spawn and quick push from Globochem. And they will then continue to tuck themselves into their forward defensive positions. Push coming out of Globochem, taking over Kayat, we call it, again, because of the name of the building. It's Kayat, just like we call Motel, Motel. Killinger are going to be the ones to run into this push first. The rest of Globochem, just the two of those, two members of Globochem over there on the south.
Just this couple's in blue room.
And there's this very common strategy from Pants. Utilizing the ability to hear comms, harassing the enemy, calling out locations, exact positions based off of the gunshots and where he's hearing people move, and actually sort of instigating Smoils into yelling at him. Smoils may be overly concerned about the push here from Pants. Pants is tucked into blue room here. He's not going to be pushing quite yet, but he's used up a little bit of resources here out of beginners. He's exposed Killinger's position. They know Smoils is in that blue room for sure. And just by harassing, using audio,
On the market.
he's able to sort of wreak a little bit of havoc here.
He's right from the fountain.
Arsenic peeked up over there, got punished for it. Doesn't want to check that lane again. Shots from Woods. Catching some himself, trying to find whoever's over there on the north. Otto, it looks like, over there at the LMG. Icy Woods able to pick off Arsenic. The fire and the trades happening in the center there. Pants goes down as he tries to push in as well. Kev now also trying to take some shots into Kayat. Looks like the push is coming out of Globochem. Everybody dropping. Woods catching out Otto on the north, and now it's up to Toast and Thunderpilot in the center here. Coming in behind Smokes and Nades. Killinger has an opportunity to potentially push out and flank, but he's not going to get too overzealous. I see Woods with a great line of sight here. Right onto where Thunderpilot is. I think he just put out some suppressive fire onto a position he thought Thunderpilot was. That did give away his location to Thunder. Peeks around Kev, just sending some rounds there. Killinger just on the other side of the wall. And Thunderpilot can't get the job done, can't find the kills. Toast now in the same room as Kev. No, just on the other side of the wall. And a minute 50 left with 5 left alive for beginners. Woods out in the open, he goes down. Everybody else staying tucked in. Toast just on the other side of Kev here. I see Woods rotating around to a bit more of a closer position onto objective. Maybe going up and over and dropping back behind Toast. Kev pushes up. Woods checking the second story. Toast catches one, rotates around, can't get Smoils. Hits some shots on the Killinger, but Smoils pushing out. Is able to grab Toast and beginners. Take round 1 of map number 2. Sometimes it's hard to track the action with these teams because they coordinate their push, but they're spread out. So you have action and shots ringing out across the map all at the same time, but in vastly different sides of the map. You know, Otto sending suppressive fire on the north while Pants pushed up on the south. You know, it's just... It's the nature of... well, I guess of that super split push, which we don't see too terribly often. I feel like the teams have been gravitating towards the group-centered pushes, the 5-man strong push where they're all covering different angles. Saw that out of gosh, who was it? Just yesterday, the other day. Danglers. They've been moving very well as a group. Beginners here, sorry, Globochem rather, sort of trying to go on the offensive with a much more split approach. Beginners with the fast spawn in round number 2. Map 2, we'll see what they can do. Now we're able to quickly advance into Kayak. Killinger now has this couple of 2-story windows he can peek out of, and Wood's able to check a little bit of an angle down into this forward building on objective. It does open up smokes and the opportunity for beginners to push in on this front side.
Second floor, east market guard.
One in that room.
And even with the quick spawn, we get a bit of a breather here.
They can hear me from here, but I know what to do. Small.
Woods picking off Otto, utilizing that 2-story
Careful.
advantage when they quickly got into Coyote, and with a great angle does catch him out. Raph and Toast really the only ones with vision into objective. I guess Thunderpilot also has a good line of sight from across the street. I think that's actually a better view than trying to look down the sights, the way it currently is at least. I get an idea of him checking angles.
Hey, I need one, just in case it be closer.
240 now. Beginners 5 alive still. 3 in Kayak. They've sort of been lingering around. Wood's able to find out 1, and Smoyle's now on the far south, rotating around. Interesting that he's concerned about a defender over in that southeast corner. That would be incredibly risky to send someone way over there with this objective. Impressive rounds from Killinger, testing the waters.
Okay, let's Alpha Oscar 04.
I have honestly no idea what he's doing right now.
I'm gonna
With a
move
minute
to
30
the
left.
south side of the market.
He's done an incredibly long rotation to the south side. I think he could have safely crossed the street, but I guess he's a little bit nervous about different angles and lines of sight. Just playing it extra cautious. Minute 50 now. They're going to have to start to push objective. Killinger, some shots out. Again, just suppressive fire. Raph pushing out from objective. Catches out Kev Woods, able to pick up the refrag. Pants, however, also pushing out from the north. Globochem not waiting for beginners to push and instead catching them as they were preparing. Now 35 seconds left. There's only 2 left. Dr. Killingers does find Toast in blue room. Sorry, excuse me, 3 left. Thunderpilot able to get Killinger. Icy Woods is pushing, but Thunder has the stairs. He's tucked up inside. Icy Woods comes around. Pants finds Smoils. Now Icy Woods in a 1v2. On objective, he has Pat out. Do they know he's here? Are they going to check objective? Thunderpilot does catch him just in the nick of time. And Globochem take their round. Tied up 1-1. I think I broke the scoreboard, everybody. Apologies. Well, either way, we can take a look at the KDs for this map number 2. Beginners leading the series so far, winning map number 1 4-2. They're now tied up 1-1, just how last round started as well. A bit of a back and forth. We'll now see if maybe Globochem can start their own bit of a comeback here, I guess, on map 2 and do exactly what beginners did to them. If they can grab this Marsoc round, win this one, go into the Volk round, take that, they've got a nice 3-1 lead. A little bit of a cushion, and maybe they can secure map 2, take it to a best of 3, which then comes down to beginners map pick, and I don't know what they'd choose. I guess probably Downfall. I can't imagine a different map would be chosen. We gotta see how this one shakes out first, though. Plenty of rounds left. It's only round 3.
Let's see. So did anyone pick a nade or not?
Globochem being cautious of an early cross to Kayat. There's all sorts of different defensive strategies for these maps, and it's kind of interesting to see the pre-fire that they do just to be safe.
They will push with the shield and smoke.
Lid's covering south. Nobody seemingly approaching from that angle, though. Everybody opting for the north or up the middle. A little pre-fire there. Raft checking some lines of sight, and it's actually, they have a pretty weak coverage onto these rooms here. Really relying a lot on Kev to catch out anybody that wants to cross over from these corners. And they don't have eyes right where Globochem is going to be attacking from. Although I guess Icy Woods does have some vision onto a real long line of sight. To the top of the stairs, a bit of a sliver of an angle. He's able to get one. And it's an insta-kill, so no res possible.
Beta 5. Can't see West Red.
Shots from Killinger and Woods. Catch out Thunder Pilot and Raft, the shield user. The smokes come out, and in the chaos, everybody goes down. Toast over here on the north side does get one, does find two, but the trade between Kev and Toast ultimately allows beginners to take the round with 3 alive. Globochem trying to go a little bit faster, 2:20 left on the clock there. Just couldn't grab that crossing. The Kev able to deny the shield cross in the smoke, and they had the right idea, but defense was there waiting for it, and beginners able to get a lead. And if the Volk trade continues, it's not going to work out for Globo. They're going to run into an issue and have to take at least one Marstock round if they want to stay in the series. Been a while since we've really looked at score lines. Woods 4-3, Icy Woods 3-1. The Woods brothers doing work over on Globochem's side. Thunder and Otto 2-2 and 0-3. And I love to draw conclusions. It's very clear here that when the brothers duos are working in full swing, it results in team wins. Now hopping into round number 4. Map 2. It's equal spawns, but you can kind of see a different style of pushing. Killinger and Woods taking up defensive positions on the east. This is really interesting. I feel like both teams are maybe it's a trend that's been in the league, or they've been traumatized by it and beaten by it. I'm unsure. Both teams very nervous about early pushes on both sides. Like, to be waiting for a cross there, it does happen. Smokes do come out, teams cross. But to make it a key part of your strategy, I mean, I guess why not, right? It just kind of incorporates it into the slow play a little bit. You check your angles. But the amount of times it happens, I can't imagine it's worth doing every single round. Either way, they're very cautious of it. Of that cross, they really don't want to let any Globochem get across this street here. And it's looking like a similar style of defense, except Globochem opting to put a couple of defensive members a little bit more forward. Toast and Pants pushed up. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Teams tend to defend the positions that they push. Pants and Toast defending this mini bazaar area, typically where their team would push in from, whereas beginners have completely opted to send all 5 south. Thunderpilot does have an angle. Raph has an angle. Auto is a bit exposed. And Raph's not even very diligently checking south. It does definitely look like the south side is Globo's weak spot in this defensive lineup. Oh, I guess the Auto isn't exposed. He has those bricks covering him. And his feet seem to be relatively covered. Raph, just by peeking that side, has identified at least one there. I see Woods prone behind white car, putting out some suppressive rounds. Woods 43 also could be putting some rounds with an interesting angle right over the head of Otto if he wanted to. Moyles here with the LMG to do what the LMG does. He's really sort of clearing the hedges, pumping rounds through all the wood cover just to make sure if anybody's there, they're going to die. Throwing him to the side here. Icy Woods trying to find some shots into the window. Decent smoke here.
Hey, that came from the south side of the, behind the walls. We have 2 over there.
Frag to deny the push comes out and gets Icy Woods and Woods 43. That'll slow up beginners, but they've already committed to the push. Smoyles and Killinger up here at Mini Bazaar, not really able to rotate around. Smoyles is going to have to stop his push. And he does. Killinger now up in the middle of Globochem's defense with 5 alive still here. Definitely doesn't have his work cut out. Definitely does have his work cut out for him. Wells gets the res off on the Woods, so they are going to be able to revive over on the south car. Although, yeah, very important for Smoyles to drop back there. It turns it into a 4v5. They now can restart their push, but they have to restart it. I do wonder if the utility will be available for them. Woods is checking these angles. I wonder if he knows that Killinger is over here. Very susceptible to potential team kill. Usually, I mean, Killinger is right in a typical defensive position. Woods able to find out Thunderpilot. Raphael here does see Icy Woods rotate, can't land the shots. Callouts from Raph are desperate. Icy Woods team kills Woods 43. It looks like in a bit of an exchange there. Otto is down. They scratch that knot down. Globochem able to find the picks that they need as Toast catches out Smoils on the back end. And a bit of a chaotic end to that round. Globochem tied up 2-2. Does look like there have been some connection troubles on both sides, really. So I guess it's a bit of a evenly plagued issue here, but thank you for bear with me. I'm trying to hash out what's going on with our scoreboard, but I think it is indefinitely ruined. So we will just switch over to the pre-rounds for the between-round sequence. We'll just hang out here as we patiently await round 5 in map number 2. That is a premature start. Doesn't even look like gamers have all 5 in the lobby. They stopped at the goal. If we are going to have to go to a brief intermission here, it seems like beginners also losing another. Have to do multiple restarts. Getting word now. Oh, not yet. We'll take you guys briefly to the intermission sequence, though, as we patiently await round number 5. Don't go anywhere. More Onward action coming at you. Looks like we are not going to have to wait all of the intermission time. Both squads are finally readied up. Tried to reset the map for you there, but it does look like we have a map bug. All 5 are alive for beginners. In the start of things here as the early east approach, shots ringing out from Globo. Pushing up quickly to take control of the east. They were going to smoke out and send Killinger across, but that quickly got shut down once all 5 started to merge over here on the east. C4 and a kill for beginners. Not exactly what they wanted this round to start off as. Thunderpilot is a bit cautious. Those smokes definitely slowing up his advance along the north. And after those shots, Globo have done a complete 360, 180, excuse me, 360. I guess that's what they're going to be doing as they rotate all the way around the map. I don't think they were spotted on this cross.
The guy who's hiding there, okay? And 2 of us are going to the north wall from the west side.
Otto and Raf rotating along the far north. Pants going to be pushing in through that mini bazaar area. Mini courtyard, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's mini bazaar or mini courtyard. Call it mini courtyard, I think, more often than not. That pick reminder happened way earlier when Globochem were over on the opposite side of the map. They now are into a 5v, I mean, have been in a 5v4, but have rotated all the way to the opposite side.
One northwest guard tower, 2nd floor.
Something you can only do if you have enough time available in a round. And 6 minutes and 20 seconds per round, there is enough time to be able to relocate and shift your push. Here comes Globochem's move. Smokes are out, but not exactly where they want one. Or they want them at least. Getting caught up in the palm tree. Wow, Pants advancing forward, tossing some smokes out. Here they come. This is the push, a nade. Catches out Raphael. Pants down just Killinger. He's inside objective. Icy Woods finds Toast on the backside. Pants able to refrag Toast. Sorry, Kev rather, and Pants is here under objective. Icy Woods has to react. He has to come down. Pants is playing so aggressive. Otto catches Woods out before he can. The brother coming inside objective and the last one alive. Globochem looking to take this Marsoc round. Woods looking to deny it, but he can't as Thunderpilot steamrolls over Woods and takes Globochem a Marsoc round as they go up 3-2. Apologies there. I caught something in my throat right when that action rolled out. toast there, 8-4. That is a heck of a scoreline against a team like Beginners. You have to be playing so well to put up a scoreline like that. Raph has just kind of been running into issues with the shield. Beginners are able to sort of... I don't think he actually was using the shield that round, though. But he was caught out with a nade regardless. It seems like they're really kind of targeting him with some good nades. Even when he doesn't have the shield and they don't need him. Very actually little time used between rounds there. Beginners, as it sort of has been seeming to me, I've been playing the map out and sort of feeling out their strategy. A lot of communication on the fly. Maybe not necessarily hashing out extensive strategies in the lobbies. Trying to develop them while in the round instead. See how it plays out for them as we move over to round number 5 of map 2. Reminder for those that just tuned in, Beginners did take map number 1, 4-2. Globochem are trying to answer back here with a map of their own. This is their map pick. So far they have the lead. Killinger able to catch Thunder Pilot through an insanely tight slice through the wall. He is resable though, and they should be able to get that res pretty safely as long as Killinger isn't covering that lane, which he isn't. Up to Kev over here in the north. Woods up here as well, not showing up on the map. Moment, let's see if that's sorted. Thunder Pilot though is here waiting for anybody to try and rotate along this north side. Shots are hitting left and right of him. Gotta stay focused. You can see through that grate and can't get shot through it, so he's a bit safe there to peek. Just patiently waiting there. Those suppressive rounds are definitely supposed to draw Thunder's eye. He is diligently holding this angle, waiting for Woods and Kev. Spotted Woods there. Woods sees him. Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, he absolutely knows he's there, peeking that grate. Sees the movement, but knows he can't do anything about it. If he takes shots, he'll really be exposing himself. I think Thunder knows that as well. One well-placed nade, though, easily catches him out. See if Woods or Kev toss one out here.
Hurry up.
Meanwhile, the rest of Beginners still where they were pretty much 2 minutes ago. Woods now in that little courtyard area. Killinger rotating around the east. We have one rotating, yeah, south over there. Smoils with an overwatch position into the bazaar area. Out towards for his objective, actually. So he'll be able to sort of dump suppressive rounds once the push comes. Really don't have a ton of eyes here on the north. Thunder's the only one. Nade comes out, an airburst a bit too far. C4 is detonated as well. Maybe a little bit early, and Woods now
He knows where I am.
exposing himself, identifying Thunder Pilot's position.
Nah, he's crawling up on me on the wall.
And now Thunder's not afraid to call out any information there. I think initially maybe he thought his position was hidden. Certainly is not. Killinger is going to be pushing up and try and smoke out Thunder's position. Thunder, a really risky peek on a Killinger. Icy Woods is able to get Thunder. Killinger pushes up. Now they have the north side. 4v5. Pants peeking through some wood grates here, looking for the refrag.
Okay, and then we got 2 in the block here.
Fire from Woods, and push is coming. Do they know that Raph is tucked in here? Interestingly, tossing a nade, actually right over to where Smoils is. Can't land that. Does find Woods on the backside, and the push comes out from beginners. Kev goes down in a trade. Icy Woods able to find Raph actually on the backside, so it wasn't a trade, but a 1-for-1. Either way, and now Woods begins the push. He goes down to Toast. He's got an Overwatch position. Pants right on objective, catches out Smoils, and now it's a 1v3. Killinger can't find Otto, and Globochem take map number 2. We move on to the final map, number 3, to determine the series. Apologies for our scoreboard being broken, but a reminder of the scoreline. 4-2 to beginners in map 1 on Quarantine. Now 4-2 to Globochem on map 2 on Bazaar. Now surely we're going to go to Downfall for map 3. I'd be surprised. Anything else from beginners. And indeed, without fail, Downfall will be our 3rd map. Which is an interesting, I mean, you really have to have a lot of confidence in this map because Globochem don't play poorly on the Volk side. They definitely can play a nice, strong defense, so. It should be an exciting one. It's just going to take a bit for each round to go because Globo are also playing very slow. Doesn't look like any subs are coming out either. Both rosters identical to they have been the last 2 maps. I guess Raph did sub in for Arsenic after map 1. So he'll be staying in though for this Downfall map, and yeah. It's the same rosters that were on Bazaar. Reminder, if you have any favorite replays, be sure to clip those on via the Twitch clip feature. Post those here and over in the Onward Discord. And they may be featured on VRE Spawn or on this very stream. Fortunate. Looks like no more waiting. Both squads ready for action. Round number 1 of Map 3, the series decider.
Just be careful with the net. Don't show yourself just to throw the fucking net.
Just saying.
No,
Me
there's
and
no
Kev are
Roger.
going south.
Now beginners take their time, posting up, looking for any picks, waiting for any rotations to get into position, into any defensive position, excuse me. It doesn't look like Globochem is going to risk anything like that. Otto really the only one that's in a forward position over there, but he's pretty tucked in, and he easily can get to that building without anybody spotting him, so... A great line of sight there on the South Street. I don't know why nobody's ever inside that building. That's a really good spot there. Maybe it's just easy to cover, easy to check with a long-range scope.
You want to give me your grenade? Or you could keep it if they throw a smoke. But I mean, you're probably going to be having to shoot anyhow. Okay. Can you give me your grenade? Because you're probably going to need it. Because if they rush, you're probably just not going to need it. The guys, if they go to dumpster, I'll need them out. Grenade. I swear, if I look at no one's ever good. Really? Yeah, they're pre-firing my windows.
Pants just barely being missed there. Shots whizzing over his head. And I think, again, that's just pre-fire from Killinger and Kev as they make their move here up the South Ravine.
Are we doing this next, so...
Take a look at the rest of beginners. Smoyle's going to be coming up the middle with LMG fire. Down towards objective. Woods likely to push up on that red truck side. Also, while they have North Hotel control, they're going with a bit of a spread push here. Similar to, I guess, how Globochem have been doing it, and beginners have been doing it, this series as well, but... This requires, really, in my opinion, probably a little bit more coordination than grouping up as all 5. To do it properly. I think if you do this and you don't coordinate perfectly, it doesn't work well at all. So it's kind of a risk to be splitting up like this, trusting that each player will do their job, be able to get to the position they need to get to, and then move all at the same time as you. It takes a lot of teamwork. Pushing together as well, though, does. I mean, you've seen some really cool plays where all 5 are smoking out from a group. It's also very effective, so. Just different. I love seeing, there's definitely been some different types, different strategies, different gameplay styles that have come out this season more than ever, and I don't know if it's the competition or what, but I love it.
Smalls, yes or no?
Thunder catches Kev, a nade comes in, doesn't get Gillinger. What a great toss from Pants regardless. Unsure what the purpose of that flare was. Maybe to just sort of muddy the waters a little bit. Audio noise.
I made it. I'm out of smoke, so...
No more utility for Killinger.
You need to start pushing.
Smoyles is in Overwatch position, but Globochem have established a kill box on objective, and they're waiting for beginners to push objective. A minute 40 left now. They still have one up on north side. Now rotating down with the smoke on his chest, crouch walking. You can see him angling that smoke to get the most coverage in front of him. Otto catches Killinger trying to rotate out on that south street. this really strong defensive position here coming into play. Now it's a 3v5. It's pretty much up to the north here. Smoils crashing in. A minute left. Icy Woods here. Brother behind him. He's danger close, but will he be able to find all the picks he needs? Once he takes fire at Toast, Pants will push up to the rooftop and have some good angles. He'll be very aggressive. Also have to worry about Thunder and Raph, who also have lines of sight there once they start to cross. There's Pants already pushed up to the roof. Woods 43 able to find Raph on the backside. Toast catches out Icy Woods. Woods 43 goes down as well. And now it's all up to Smoils on Blackhawk. And Toast catches him out in the 2-story. Globochem takes the lead in round number 1 of map 3 in the series decider. Gosh. I'm going to take a vocal break.
We have time. We take it. We take our time when we try to do it.
Yeah, the aim of the unforgetting thing shield, so I worry about that.
Hey, do you want me to go now to the sandbags? Go back? Let's sure that we stay all together and go to the middle hotel. Huh. So who do you lost? Okay, he's on the second floor, watching from the doorway, shooting me. Okay, you want to cross the dumpster? We have to cross the dumpster, yeah? be careful, be careful. Now we need to smoke one. Don't pick. Smoke the corner of the all-purpose. Okay, nice. One needed. Nice. Be careful now, eh? Be careful. Stay down. Nice. Hey, right here. Oh, nice. Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm up. Hey, they're shooting from the basement. They're on the second floor and help stop them. Don't wait. Let me go first.
Beta 5.
One dead. Upstairs. What? He's dead. Wait.
No, it's out.
In the left of the window.
He's not picking.
Yeah, he's not peeking.
Stay down, Pam. Don't make sure you don't die. I need you.
Ruff, get on my right here. Get in the corner here.
He's picking the corner over there. Be careful. No. Hey, second floor. He's second floor. Helicopter. Okay, hey, come here. Hey, only me and you. There's one on second floor and one on fucking thunderstorm. We have time. We know where they are. Oh, what the fuck? Done. He's not picking. Okay, we have to move. Hey, we have a minute. 1 minute. How? Damn it.
Listen up close.
Still, yeah, I can't hear you very much. I'm going behind helicopter or you?
We are going behind helicopter right now.
Let's go.
Go. Watch thunderstorm.
I'll get hotel, big hotel now.
Oh wait, is that auto? Yeah. What the fuck? I can't have put something. What's that thing?
Yeah, are you going to stay that tower?
I don't know if I can move.
I killed him at White Building.
Where it came from? It sounded like... Yeah, so... For fuck's sake. Whoa. They like to go to the alcove. We can all push north if you want, but yeah. Fucking smalls, are you serious? Okay, let's go. Fucking smalls!
I'm back. Took me a round and a half. But I'm here. Much apologies for being muted there. I think you knew what was going on, though. I think you got the gist of the action. The push here from beginners. Smoyle's going down, forcing this rotation out of beginners. I think they initially wanted to push in south, take control of that White House, and have Smoyle's be able to put out suppressive fire while they pushed. But with him dead, it's just not possible. And beginners doing the exact same play they did last time here. Woods angling that smoke, crawling his way up this little bit of ravine here with cover. Just ensuring nobody's going to be able to spot him on this move. Does nearly get caught, though. Thunder Pilot pumping some rounds into that smoke. Does get Woods, and Woods 43 really tried to use that smoke. Does go down, and it cost Thunder Pilot 2 full clips of ammo, unfortunately, and See if
You guys need to
beginners
calm
can
the
use
fuck
that.
down. Seriously close too, eh? Be careful. Lower red truck, I think.
Here, Otto trying to calm his team down. Globochem, don't think.
Fucking kidding me?
Well, they seem to be in control of objective here. All 5 alive. I think Pants wanted to throw some C4 and placed it poorly, and that's what his anger was about. It did actually draw shots from Icy Woods, though. Killinger prone here. Trying to sneak his way into objective. Finally, with Killinger taking those shots, he goes down. Pants getting picked up by Kev, though. Raph's still there with the line of sight. Otto catching out.
Another one dead.
Kev trying to push on objective, and now the last one alive. Icy Woods is able to cross. He's pressing Raph, finds Otto. Raph, though, peeks out his window, picks him up, and Globochem take their round 2-1. We're just having all sorts of odd tech hiccups today. I do apologize for that. Transitions are being strange. Mic's going muted. It's all good, though. We're catching the action, and it is a lot of good action. Globochem and beginners duking it out. Blow for blow here on this final map, and I think we're just going to keep seeing a Volk back and forth. Unless beginners can just get everything working the way they want it to, then maybe they can take a Marsoc round, but I don't know. I think Globochem have gotten far closer to getting a Marsoc round than beginners have as of this map, and they're going on Marsoc next. So we'll see if they can take a bit more of a commanding lead, push it up 3-1, or take the series if they can get a cap. Not going to mute my mic this time, otherwise I might go silent for the rest of the series. But maybe that's what you people want, okay? Everybody liking the camera work so much. It's like a compliment and a stab. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all tuning in. I'm just glad you enjoy watching the content, watching the gameplay, and it is fun to cast, I'll tell you that much. Beginners, Globochem. Round 4, firing up. Moyle's just sending out a little feeler up to that north spawn. It isn't where they are. They instead have the same spawn that beginners did. And going for a similar style of push. 3 in the south. 1 going up into that north Marsoc position. A little bit of an overwatch down towards objective.
Yeah, they definitely smoked a crater. There's also smoke in front of one-story wall. Yeah, it's possible.
I think Otto spotted 1 on the wall. At the very least, he's putting suppressive fire right over the heads of a defender. I see Woods there now, maybe feeling a little bit more suppressed. He'll have to stay tucked in behind this wall. More concerned watching this gap here in the wall and make sure nobody's pushing north red truck. Listening to the heavy breathing of the defenders. as they contort their bodies to stay into a crouched down position enough to stay into cover. Definitely a very physical game. Pretty much everyone here is in a crouched position. Working that core a little bit at the very least. Especially these, this is a great oblique exercise. We'll do an Onward workout show. But just feature clips of in-game coverage. Here's the oblique exercise. Make sure you tilt your head and cover your angles. And one, and two, and one. Smoyle's also working those obliques.
One cross.
One
to the
does
dumpster.
get across. Maybe the pain of the workout getting to him. Well, it's just pumping out some suppressive fire. May in fact deter Thunder from trying to cross. I think Thunder is more interested in trying to get that pick, though. Ants on the north trying to draw some eyes, making sure nobody's in that forward position in that bunker area.
Shields retreated east side, east red shore.
I see Woods putting out some shots. Smoyles and Kev here trying to catch out anybody crossing. Woods 43 trying to deal with the north, and Globochem are causing havoc on all sides. Thunder and Toast pretty safe, pushed up. Maybe they'll be concerned about a previous defensive positioning. That's unlikely, and they're moving in, taking control of the 3-story. Very important. Will allow them to have good shots down on the positions such as Smoyles and Kev. We'll have to deal with this soon. Woods does take down Pants on the north. Raph with a quick revive there on the corner. Dillinger spots out the shield. Otto trying to get some shots on the Kevin Smoyles there. Woods 43 does get Pants down again. Pants will be down for good now, and the 3-man push from the 3-story should be coming out shortly. 1:23 on the clock, and they know the time. Here come the smokes. Will they be ready for Woods 43 positioning himself here? He has a decent angle, a decent line of sight behind the smokes here. Wow, what a great smoke. Kev able to catch out Thunder Pilot from his 2-story position. Woods going to relocate that smoke so he doesn't have his vision denied. Might give information to Toast at the very least. Toast trying to smoke out Smoyles, but Kev still has a line of sight into the top of the roof at least. Otto's moves. Woods gets him a nade, confirming him instantly. All the while, Raphael crossing out here with his shield. Does have the smoke to deny Woods' vision there. And Toast catches out Woods. A huge pick. 25 seconds left. Raph trying to push in with the shield. They need to move now and try and get onto that bottom floor where they can punch in the code. They need to try and push onto Smoyles together. They have. I see Woods on the backside watching the entry point. Kev up here in the 2-story. They're going to have to worry about if he decides to peek out and take shots like he is. Toast is inside. Smoyles on the backside. Raph turns around. Does get Kev's. Toast there. Can't get Smoyles. Raph is here. 7 seconds left on the clock. Raph 4, 3. Gets him on the trade, but it isn't enough. And Beginners tied up 2-2. Man, what a fantastic series. If you are just tuning in, you have jumped into a stellar series so far. 4-2 for map number 1 on Quarantine going to Beginners. 4-2 for map number 2 on Bazaar going to Globochem. And now here we are tied up. It's been Volk Trades on Downfall for the series decider. And the KDs are pretty even across the board here, as you can see. But it has been so fun to watch. Some real close plays. Some near clutches. Close attempted caps, but not. That's one thing we haven't seen in this series, really. Is anybody getting right up there? And I mean, I guess they were close to the capping there, but the time has actually been a huge factor in this series. Both teams have been pushing that clock down to the limit. And, I mean, I think it's been personally hurting Globochem's playstyle more than helping, but maybe it's just what they're trying to do to beat Beginners more consistently. I don't know. Either way, it's I wouldn't say it's not working, but it's maybe not working as well as they would hope, as we're tied here across the board. I mean, across scorelines entirely. Everybody, it's quick math, 10-10 right now. Is that right? No, sorry. 6-6. Man, math's tough. No. Sorry. 8-8. That's the total. Woo, we did it. We got there just in time for round number 5. Some more math coming at you hot. Map number 3. See if we get any early picks. There is the opportunity. I think Globochem are aware. They're going to smoke out.
Yeah, take it.
You give him the
Place
generator?
it, place it inside the hardcore. That we have detected, okay?
Okay. Yeah, if they kill me, come get it.
Yeah, that's not looking good enough.
Smoke's there, but ultimately not required since no one had any of the real early shot angles.
He's in the basement. He smoked me off. He's in the basement, South Marsa.
Smoils actually did take some shots, but couldn't catch him. For those tuning in, a little fun fact, the reason that these buildings are called North and South Marsoc is because when the game first came out, that was the default Marsoc spawn. Volk used to default spawn that side, so the names have sort of stuck. This is North and South Marsoc accordingly. Right here, these two buildings. Pants is in South Marsoc, and he is being suppressed.
No, I can't retreat from here, Thunder. I'm stuck in here. I'm stuck in here for the grave.
If somehow
Movement shit.
was that you in the last with me? Or
No, that wasn't me. That was Joe.
If Toz was able to kill the guy on the basement, we would have won because I was watching the doorway with the shield. He couldn't get in.
Yeah, saw that. That was close.
So unlucky over there. It was about one player.
Yeah,
But you did well, though.
they are very. It's very accurate observation. They were very close to capping. Definitely the closest cap we've had this series, or closest attempted cap we've had this series. Raph with a great turnaround on the shield to block the entryway like he did. I mean, yeah, if Toast had won that trade, it would have been bad news for Beginners. But here we are all tied up. Beginners sending 3 east and 2 west. Smoil is desperately trying to find an angle onto that South Marsoc defender. He saw
I don't see them by the right
Pants
Marsa,
go in
but
there, and
is
he
in the
really
basement.
wants to pick him off there, but he can't get an angle. Wonder if Woods is going to go look for that kill. He should know that Pants is here, so I'm surprised Woods is being as loud as he is. And actually, all 3 of the three east push from Beginners is going to have to run into this Pants defender soon enough.
One of.
Killinger maybe suspects there's one in dark room, trying to get a nade inside there. Can't quite land it. He may still be concerned about a defender there. Pants is tucked in that basement. And beginners are starting to really sort of surround him here in this defensive spot. Killinger's going to smoke the entryway and try and push. He wants to deny the vision so that he can safely come in here, but I think that grenade went a little bit too far. Pants playing it so patiently. Does take some shots out towards Killinger. The trade, and Pants able to find it. Kev is up next. Pants peeks around the corner and can't find Kev. Pick up for beginners, evens it into a 4-4. I see Woods trying to land some shots there into the White House window. Woods and the rest of his team have opted to use this ravine, push through there, although they are very vulnerable to a potential peek from Raph or Thunders. Will flashbang, maybe to slow him up. Well, Raph to take a quick gander, and he does identify one. A great nade lands right onto Kev. Fortunate it doesn't insta-kill him, but Woods is going to have to rotate and get that res, or they're going to have to... Yeah, Woods is the only one there. It's a bit of a tall order to push those two, but we have another push going on right on objective. Smokes are out from the south side, or from the west side, sorry. Everyone's staying relatively tucked in. The res has come out, so it evens it into a 2v2 over here on the White House. Icy Woods is almost abandoning it. Kev and Icy Woods trying to rotate around the White House. Raph, though, peeks up and out, does spot Kev. Woods here on objective, catches Otto out. He's trying to punch the code in. And beginners are going to take the series on a cap with 5 seconds left. No, he abandons the code. He thought Smoils was an enemy. And Globochem, by the skin of their teeth, take the round and hang on to the series. He thought Smoils was an enemy and abandoned the code, going for the rifle. My heart beat jumped quite a few paces there. Jeez Louise, what a close play from beginners. Both teams are going at each other right now on these Marsoc rounds and getting so close to caps and winning the series. I'm still here. Don't worry about me. We're just taking a quick breather. I had to do some breathing exercises to calm the heart down there so we could focus and have a steady hand for what's coming up. Round number 6. Series point here for Globochem if they can take this Marsoc round, but that is no easy achievement.
Yes, that's what we're doing. I'm gonna run to the balcony.
What an excellent button cup matchup. I am not disappointed by this one. This is exactly what I wanted to see. I just wasn't sure we were going to get it. Sometimes these teams kind of run over each other, but today is not that day. Smoke's there, defensive. I'm hearing bullets impacting, but Pants not taking any damage. Very fortunate there on the roof. Able to drop back in. Beginners have an interesting defensive lineup here. Dr. Killinger at forward defensive position. Killinger almost catches out the two crossing. That was his angle. He was trying to deny the south cross with that line of sight, but he does call it out. And now they have their next cross. They're going to have to smoke it out. And Raph, this is a great way to use the shield and cross. Thunder stays behind him. Raph going down from Icy Woods. I'm not sure how Woods got that shot, but just fortunate enough to go over the top of the shield, seemingly. What a great shot from him over there by South Marsock. He's now going to peek up and maybe look for a second. Byron has some bushes, as you do, just to make sure it's not an enemy, and Globochem into a 3v5. Thunder makes it across. Dribbles the grenade, seems like right there. And Otto and Pants making their way over on the other side of the map on the east. Pants moves up, but Killinger waiting for him on that forward inside position. I almost completely forgot about Killinger there myself. And Pants fully exposed to him, goes down. Otto now knows he has to rotate around through Ravine, and it's a 2v5 for Globo. With 3 minutes left on Downfall. It's going to be tough against beginners. This is definitely something we've started to see come out once this, I mean, with the new smokes, the angled smokes, the holding of smokes to get that better coverage. And it definitely throws off where you have to shoot, because depending on how you angle it, your position inside the smoke can be different. And the pilot is able to utilize that to his advantage here, but now smoke's out. He has to go. Still has the shield, but Woods has a direct line of sight onto it. Just to wait for that angle to open up for him. And they should know right where Thunder is. The communication should be coming in from Woods.
He's on the north side of it.
Yeah, there it is from Killinger at the very least, and now they know right where he is. Moyles has identified the shield, the last one on Globo. That's going to be hard for whoever that is to deal with both Smoyles and Woods. Woods finally gets the angle he's been waiting for And we go the distance. Best of 3 series coming down to the final map and the final round. Globochem, utilizing that Volk advantage, will be taking up the Volk side. There has not been a Marsoc round yet, but there have been some pretty dang close ones. We very well may see a Marsoc round come out yet. I do not know. This final round is this series. Man, what a great Saturday afternoon treat, if I do say so myself. I may go get a nice burger after this. Watch back a fantastic series. Because man, there are some real intricate plays going on here, and you can learn a lot by watching these teams, by watching the top tier master teams. Between the group play, the split play, the smokes, the frags, the teamwork, the coordination, there's just so much you can absorb and take in and transfer over to a team of your own. And I think if you don't even play the game, this series has just been a great one to watch. Some awesome shots, excellent nades. We're really being treated by these two titans of the Onward industry, as I like to say myself. Real champions, Globo and beginners. Numbers 1 and 2 in the world, battling it out. Globochem, reminder, do have a 10 MMR advantage on beginners. So if they lose this, they could be losing their number 1 worldwide ranking, and beginners could be taking it for at least a little bit of season 7. If Globo win this, they definitely solidify themselves as the number 1 team worldwide, probably pushing themselves up maybe 20 MMR on beginners. That's going to be hard to get back onto Globo. We'll see what happens as we hop into round 7.
Holy shit.
What a colossal mistake. The deciding round, and they shoot a bullet off, identifying their spawn. If you're new here, the way that this game works is spawns are random. There's one of 2 positions that you can spawn in on objective. And by shooting early on Marsoc, you give away your spawn location, allowing Volk to adjust accordingly, and that's exactly what they did at the start of that round. A huge hiccup. From beginners, and the most important round here in the series. Hans has gotten himself into a pretty forward defensive position inside that 3-story. He'll be able to get kind of all sorts of angles on the north approach. Killinger is kind of trained in there from North Marsoc looking in.
Don't sleep. Push. I got Marsoc.
And beginners doing this the first time this round. I was sort of waiting to see this. The hill rotation. Icy Woods is opting for it. It's very risky. You can definitely get caught out here on these long rotations up on this hilltop, but sometimes you go completely unnoticed, so it's, you know, it's kind of a 50-50. I don't think Toast... I actually do think Toast is looking up there. Yeah, Toast is watching up on that hilltop, waiting for Woods to keep his to continue that rotation on the hill until he's completely exposed. Raph being very communicative, and Toast and Otto telling him to relax in this high pressure situation. They need to stay cool and collected. I have to talk over the teams talking too. I know I realize I do that sometimes now that I think about it. Take a look at the map. Globo, or beginners, excuse me, opting for a heavy south push, and Woods now giving away his position on top of that hill. Maybe he just wants to be a distraction up there.
we got a family orange sheets.
Both LMGs here operating as suppressive fire. Overwatch's positions on the objective, although Smoil doesn't have a great line of sight on really anybody. Killinger and Kev making their way up the ravine, and Pants will be running into some action over in that 3-story shortly enough. Heart rate starts to pick up with 2:20 left on the clock. All 5 alive. Beginners putting their plan into action now. Thunder Pilot here in the White House. They have to know there's at least one defending. A nade comes out the window. A great toss. A flashbang actually onto Killinger. Incredibly fortunate that wasn't a nade. It could have been a double kill. But it slowed up Killinger and Kev quite a bit with 1:50 left. They now know he's here, and they're very tuned into the window. Killinger doesn't have a lot of options either for how he wants to push this. He has to make sure he's not going to get shot in the back. And if he does try and crash into that White House, that he doesn't get picked on the side by Toast. Nade comes out, a good smoke there. That'll potentially allow Kev to push up that hill. What he's going to try and do under the guise of the smoke. He gets inside. Gets the trade onto Thunder. They have control of White House. Very important now. They have the Overwatch down onto objective. 1:19 and the push is starting to happen. Pants is going to have to deal with Woods. That Woods could be very dangerous to this defense. Toast and Raph tucked in. And a minute now on the clock. 3 south, 1 north. 4v5. 4 south, sorry. Raph being suppressed from a real interesting angle down here into the south. Icy Woods has rotated from his hilltop position. And Kev drops out of White House, and now they begin their push onto objective. 45 seconds left. And the intensity is here. We're all tied up. This is series deciding point between number 1 and number 2 in the world. Globochem and Beginners. The NAEU battle with 30 seconds left. Woods converging inside. Crashes up. Goes up to the rooftop. Looks for Pants. Can he win the trade? He can't. Pants gets him, but they're pushing in on objective. Kev is here. Toast goes down. Raph loses the trade. Kev can punch in the code with 15 seconds left, and Beginners can take the series, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Beginners infiltrate underneath and take the final round 5-3. What an incredible finale to a series that has had no caps. Beginners take it 5-3. Wow. I'm sorry the scoreboard's broken, because I'm sure a lot of you want to know the total scoreline, but I'll give it to you in words. It is 4-2 on Quarantine coming out of Beginners. 4-2 on Bazaar coming out of Globochem. And the final score of the final map, 5-3 for Beginners. What an unbelievable finale to this series. Couldn't have been any more down to the wire. My heart is racing. Wow. Whew. Take a breather, huh? Man. I feel like I haven't had a intense match. I haven't had a match like that. I haven't watched a match like that that had so much pressure behind it in a while, I feel like. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because both teams were playing so nervously against each other. That's what kind of felt like. You know, you could feel the pressure between both teams when they're communicating and how much they want to win. But wow. Beginners winning the series off of a cap, taking Downfall 5-3. And that was with the hiccup at the start, too. That should have really cost him the round. Well, I'm going to go get some lunch and catch some waves because it's sunny California out here right now. But to all those tuning in, I do appreciate you. That'll be it from me. If you want to get more Onward action, head on over to the Onward VR Master League website, which is vrmasterleague.com/onward. Right there, you can find all the Twitch, Twitter, Reddit, Discord links you need to get involved in the community. You can sign up to be a reservist. You can register a team of your own. It's all real easy to get involved in the league and become a pro esports player. I do warn you though, these teams, man, they are getting competitive, and it is. If you wanna play VR esports at a competitive level, this is the place to be. I'll tell you that. A lot of fun, a lot of welcoming people. We also have a beginners rookie boot camp Discord for anybody that's interested in sort of training themselves. I mean, it's you just gotta go to the site and get involved. That's gonna be it for me. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. Thank you so much for tuning in.